coloring of a graph. What do you mean by coloring of a graph? I have given in the introductory part the importance of coloring a graph. How to color a graph? Graph is nothing but it contains vertices, edges, isn't it? So now you have to see the importance of coloring in such a way that no two adjacent vertices have the same color. Okay, so coloring of a graph is nothing but we are coloring a map. But map, it is considered as a dual graph, or first it is a plane graph and it's dual graph in which the faces are considered as vertices. So now the vertex coloring of a dual graph is nothing but the coloring of the map. So that part already we have discussed in the introductory session. Okay, so now today we are going to see the coloring of a graph. So the same planar graph converted in terms of, same map converted in terms of a graph. Okay, so what do you mean by coloring of a graph? As I said, an assignment of colors to the vertices of a graph so that no two adjacent vertices have the same color is called coloring of a graph. Okay, so let me consider the definition with an example so that you will get a clear picture about the concept. Okay, now I have considered one graph here. So this is the graph. Okay, so C is a graph containing some vertices, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there are 8 vertices. Okay, there are 8 vertices. So how to color? You have to remember throughout the topic, no two adjacent vertices have the same color. It implies adjacent vertices must be colored with different colors so that very easily you can identify. Okay, so adjacent vertices is nothing but they are having a common boundary in the map. Okay, so that's why we have joined such vertices. So now this vertex is colored with color 1. Instead of saying red, blue, green, we are using the numbers. So we are using the first color 1 for this vertex. So since this vertex and this vertex, these two are adjacent, so that's why we have to color the vertex by another color 2. Okay, now you can use 2 and 3. These two vertices are adjacent, so I cannot use 2, so I have to use another color. So I use the 3. Now these two are adjacent, so that's why I used the color 4. So like that, different vertices are having different colors, or different vertices are assigned with different colors. So an assignment of colors to the vertices of a graph so that no two adjacent vertices have the same color is called a coloring of a graph, or you can say proper coloring. Okay, that is called the proper coloring. So here 8 vertices, we have used 8 colors. It implies every vertex is having a different color, so it is called a proper coloring or coloring of a graph. So we got the clear picture about coloring of a graph. So coloring of a graph is nothing but coloring a graph in such a way that the adjacent vertices must have different colors, or you can say no two adjacent vertices have the same color. Okay, so that is called coloring of a graph, or you can say proper coloring of a graph. Now, what do you mean by N coloring? Very simple idea. If you are using 8 colors for proper coloring, it is called 8 coloring. If you are using 10 colors for proper coloring or coloring of a graph, it is called 10 coloring. Okay, in the previous example, so how many, let me take the previous one. How many colors we have used here? We have used 8 colors. For each vertex we have used different color. So we have used 8 colors. So that's why it is called 8 coloring. It is called 8 coloring. Okay. So now what do you mean by N coloring? A coloring of a graph in which N colors are used is called N coloring, or is an N coloring graph. Okay. So in the figure 1, as I said, we have used 8 colors. So that's why it is called 8 coloring. Okay. Is it clear? Okay, so we come to know what you mean by coloring of a graph and N coloring. Now we will think of M colorable. What do you mean by M colorable? So though it is n coloring, it is m colorable. See, we are moving towards our main idea. So minimizing the colors, that should be the idea. So in the previous graph, there were 8 vertices. We used 8 different colors. If you consider the map of an African country, there are 53 African continent, there are 53 countries. So if you use 53 colors, then you can color each country by a different color. But that is not the aim. Our aim is to minimize. So that's why we are moving to another concept, m colorable. Okay, a graph G is m colorable if there exists an n coloring for some m less than or equal to n. So though we have colored the previous graph by 8 colors, we used 8 colors. So but that 8 coloring graph can be m colorable, you can say 5 colorable, you can say 6 colorable. So that is less than n. Okay, how? Let us see. So the same graph I have considered, which I have considered in the previous slide. So there I used 8 colors. Now here again this vertex colored with 1. So these two are adjacent, that's why I have colored with 2. So you can take this vertex. So 2 you cannot use because these two vertices are adjacent. You have to use different color. So I used 3. So here I used 4 because these two are adjacent vertices. I used 5 for this because these two are adjacent vertices. Like that, these two are adjacent, that's why I cannot use 5. I cannot use 4 also. For this vertex, I cannot use 4, I cannot use 5, but I can use 6. Okay, so now for this vertex, you may color with 7th color. But what I did, I am trying to minimize the number of colors. That's why, so these two vertices are adjacent. So I cannot use the color 6 or 6th color, but I can use 5th color, isn't it? Why not? You can use the previous color, previous in the sense which is not adjacent to this vertex. So this vertex has been assigned the 6th color. For this vertex which is adjacent with the vertex, so I cannot use 6, but I can use the 5th color which already I used for some other vertex. It implies I am saving the colors. So like that for this vertex, so these two are adjacent, so I cannot use the 5th color. So I can use the 4th color which I used for some vertex previously, isn't it? And for this vertex, already you see, to color this vertex, I cannot use the 5th color because these two are adjacent. Even I cannot use the 2nd color because these two are adjacent vertices. Even I cannot use the 1st color because these two are adjacent. So, but I can use the 4th color because adjacent vertices are having different colors. It implies the previous slide, same graph, it was n coloring because we used different color for different vertices. For 8 vertices we used 8 colors. So that's why it was 8 coloring. But that 8 coloring graph, now we have colored with 6 colors. It implies it is a 6 colorable graph. See the importance. 2 colors we have reduced. Earlier we have used 8 colors. Now we have used 6 colors. So this graph is 6 colorable. So though it is 8 colorable or it is 8 coloring, but it is a 6 colorable where 6 is less than 8. So what you can say, a graph G is m colorable if there exists an n coloring for some m less than or equal to n. So it is 6 colorable graph. Though it is 8 coloring, but it is 6 colorable. Okay. So this is how we have used the, or we have given clear picture about m colorable graph. Okay. Let me consider same graph. You may ask the question, why you are considering the same graph? See the importance. Earlier we have used 8 colors. Again in the next slide we have minimized by 2 colors. So that was 6 colorable graph. Though it is 8 coloring, but we have colored with the 6 color. That's why it is also called 6 colorable graph. So now see the same graph we are using different way. See, first we have colored this vertex by color 1. So now these two vertices are adjacent. That's why we used the color 2. Okay, because you cannot assign 1. So now for this vertex, so these two are adjacent vertices. You cannot use 2, but you can use the first color which already used for some vertex, isn't it? So you can use, because you cannot use 2, but you can use 1, the previous color, because these two are non-adjacent. These two are non-adjacent. So you can use the color 1. Again for this vertex, you cannot use 1, but you can use the previous color 2, because these two are non-adjacent. But these two are adjacent, you cannot use 1, but you can use 2. So like that, again we are minimizing the number of colors. So now for this vertex, you cannot use 2, but you can use the color 1, isn't it? So now come to this vertex. Now you cannot use 1 because these two are adjacent vertices. Even you cannot use the second color because these two are adjacent vertices. So 1 you cannot use, 2 you cannot use, but you can use the third color. So come to this vertex. So now you cannot use 3, but you can use the first color, because it is not adjacent with any vertex which is used with 1 color. Okay, so like that comes to this vertex. Now you cannot use 1 because these two are adjacent. Here also these two are adjacent vertices. Already we have assigned 1 for this vertex. Even for this also we have used 1 color or the first color. Even you cannot use the second color, but you can use the third color. See, again it is 3 colorable graph. Though in the first slide it was 8 coloring graph, in the second slide it was a 6 colorable graph. Now it is a 3 colorable graph. See the importance, these changes. Okay, so another way of defining n coloring. Okay, this is the same concept which we have defined in the previous slide. What is n coloring? Yes, what is n coloring? A coloring of a graph in which n colors are used is an n coloring. And what is m colorable graph? That already we have discussed. Okay, so the graph is 6 colorable as well as 3 colorable. Okay, so now the same n coloring graph we can define in another way. So how? An n coloring graph of a graph G is a function f from vertex set of the graph to the integers, positive integers, because we are coloring the vertices by the colors. The colors we are not considering red, blue, green, yellow, but we are using in terms of numbers, color 1, color 2, color 3, color 4. Therefore, n coloring is nothing but it is a function from the vertex set of the graph to the positive integers, or you can see the natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, like that n, such that f of u not equal to f of v. Yes, I have made a mistake in writing. It should be f of u not equal to f of v whenever uv is an edge. If uv is an edge, you cannot assign the vertex u and v by the same color. So that's why such that f of u not equal to f of v whenever the edge uv belongs to the edge set, or u comma v. U comma v means it's the pair of vertices. Whenever we use the pair of vertices, it represents an edge. It is an edge joining the vertex u to a vertex v, belongs to edge set. So where n is a positive integer. So the same n coloring which we have given in the previous slide, you can define in this way also. Okay. So now let us consider the Peterson graph. So it is a Peterson graph. Outside it is a cycle with 5 vertices. Even inside also it is a cycle with 5 vertices, of course. But you know the complement of a graph C5, cycle with 5 vertices, is self-complementary. So if you draw the complement of this cycle, you will get the interior cycle type. Okay. So same type. Then every vertex on the boundary is joined with a vertex on the boundary of the other cycle C5. So like that we will get a graph. That graph is considered as a Peterson graph. Okay, he invented this graph, that's why name is given as Peterson graph. Okay, So now you can see the difference between these three graphs, how we have colored. Okay, so you can see the first graph. So now it is colored with three colors. Is it? The first graph we have used the color 1, 2, I think letters are very small. So you can see we have used with only three colors. The next one is no. The first graph is used 5 colors we used for the first graph, and we have used 4 colors for the second graph, and we have used 3 colors for the third graph. Same graph, but this is 5 coloring, and this is 4 coloring, and this is 3 coloring. So the condition is that the adjacent vertices must have different colors, or you can say no two adjacent vertices have the same color. So keeping in the mind, we have colored same Peterson graph in 3 different ways. The first graph, same graph with 5 colors, so it is 5 coloring graph. So this is 4 coloring graph, this is 3 coloring graph. Okay, so you can see the difference. So now there is a theorem. Now we discuss one theorem. It gives an alternative definition of n coloring. Okay, the same n coloring which we have defined in the previous slide in another way also. In terms of theorem, you can say. So what is the statement of the theorem? There exists a n coloring of a graph G if and only if the vertex set Vg can be partitioned into n subsets V1, V2 and so on and so forth Vn, such that no two vertices in Vi where I equal to 1 to n are adjacent. Of course, no two adjacent vertices are the same color. That should be the concept. Okay, that should be the condition. So now we can prove this theorem in a simple way. Necessity, because it is a general result. First you have to consider one part and you have to prove the other part. You have to consider the other part conversely, you can say, or on the other hand to prove the first part. So what is the necessity? Let f be a function from the vertex set of G to the integers 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on and so forth, n positive integers, be a n coloring of G. Let Vi, an arbitrary subset of the vertex set Vi, containing the elements like U, where U belongs to the vertex set of G. It implies Vi is a subset of Vg. Okay, such that f of U is equal to I. F of U is equal to I. It implies you are using for the vertex U the color I. Okay, like that, where I is belonging between 1 and n, or even it is equal to 1 or equal to n also. You can say 1 is less than or equal to I is less than or equal to n. That is, Vi is the set of vertices colored I. Then what is V? V is the union of all such subsets, say V1, V2 and so on and so forth, Vn is a partition, and moreover no two vertices in Vi where I lies between 1 and n are adjacent. That is very obvious, isn't it? So no two adjacent vertices have the same color. Okay, so this is how we have proved the first part easily. Now the sufficiency, if we consider the vertex set V as union of the subsets V1, V2 and so on and so forth Vn, or you can say these are the partitions of Vg, such that no two vertices in Vi are adjacent, then the function f from vertex set of G to the n, 1, 2, 3 and so on and so forth n, or you can say the positive integers, defined by f of U equal to I if U belongs to Vi is an n coloring of G. So this is the sufficiency. It implies same n coloring how we have defined in the first slide. Even we have defined the same in another way. So it is a theorem. So it gives the same meaning how we have defined the coloring, or you can say n coloring of a graph. So overall, what we have discussed in this session is that coloring of a graph, or you can say proper coloring. So what do you mean by proper coloring? Coloring of a graph in such a way that no two adjacent vertices have the same color. So that is nothing but it is called a proper coloring or coloring of a graph. So how many vertices are there? As many number of colors also you can use. So that is n coloring. Even you can reduce the number of colors also, m colorable. So like that. So we have come to know the concept of n coloring of a graph. Even we come to know m colorable graph. Though it is n coloring, but it is m colorable, where m is less than or equal to n. And we have given an alternative definition of an n coloring in terms of a theorem. So this is the these are the ideas which we have discussed in this session. Okay, so these are the reference books already I have informed you. So with this we conclude today's session with these recapitulation what we have discussed in this session. So we will see the other session in the next class. Thank you.